5,370 pounds. This 25 RSS Outback, which has a rear bed slide and a side sofa slide here at Haylet RV, is hands down the best kept, the best condition used Outback I've ever seen in my entire career. And that includes a 2018 Outback that we took in on trade only a couple weeks ago. And this is 10 years older. I say this with no exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen. This beautiful, light, bright little used bunkhouse right here, this is in showroom ready shape, condition, and working order. With these two slides closed, it's actually kind of neat how much accessibility you retain here. You'll lose the dinette in the rear door. However, the sofa, all of the kitchen, the bathroom, all of your storage, anything that you really need to get to in transit, it's all still here. And then basically everything just opens up. This is carpetless, it is light, it is bright, it is clean. It has been stored indoors, away from sun, wind, rain, snow, weather exposure, etc. It has been cleaned inside and outside with regularity. This is exactly how every used RV should be kept and maintained. It is in near flawless condition. So we'll come back to the kitchen over here, but a quick thing I want to point out, this has the classic Ultralite formed like molded plastic countertop right here, extremely light in weight, and you notice how it is completely seamless. There's no area, like the sink and the counter are all a one-piece mold. There's no area where water could possibly sink through and penetrate off like a bad frozen seam or anything like that. We do have central air, we have central heat. It does have an enclosed heated belly, and the signature calling card of this is that rear bed slide. It's kind of funny. A lot of people don't realize why Outback is called Outback. It's because the beds used to go out the back. Now, they still do that in a couple models, but this was really the whole signature calling card of the entire Outback family. And over time, they kind of morphed into more of a traditional layout. But what this does, guys, is it gives us, rough numbers here, roughly a 30-foot box at your campsite, but 25-foot box in towing. That's what this is really doing for us. Now, it's kind of cool. You do have, it's different for sure. I kind of like to call it a hard side hybrid, because when you're going down the road, the bed's not in the way. You know, it's not sticking out of the back of the camper. But when you get to the destination, the master bed here, it's off the floor plan. It's not eating up floor space, so it keeps this thing wide open when you get to your destination. Now, this is a very lightweight manual rear slide. That was one of the things on these Outbacks. Actually, starting way back to like the 03 and before days, it was actually called the Lightway Outback by Keystone. It was the ultralight segment of the Keystone brand that was just eventually absorbed into Keystone proper. A little history lesson for you there. Now, what they did, they gave you a little shelf here above the headboard, privacy curtain, and then a little bit of storage down here at the base so that mom and dad can keep some of their own little personal clothes and items, you know, kind of contained within there. Now, over here in the dinette, you do have a free-floating dining table, so if you do want to float this around and move it to different areas, you absolutely are able to. And even when this trailer was transported here, the table was in the down position, and this table does have a metal bracket where it can lock against the wall, so if you bump it, you're not going to send it flying anywhere. But when it was in the down position, they even stuck the metal bracket sticking outward so that it was not rubbing against the sidewall paneling of the trailer. I mean... everything you want done to a used RV, basically, guys, was done here. Now, in addition to that rear bed slide and the front double bunks, you can also, you know, like almost any travel trailer, fold down your dinette here as well as your sofa into additional sleeping spaces. And what's cool about that is it gives you more individual sleeping spaces. So if you do have kids that maybe just don't necessarily play together, or they got busy legs and they kick each other at night, this can be a way that everyone can bunk down. Also very handy if the kids bring friends. And as I said, that table's fully free floating. If you want to pull it over here for a neat little sofa dining arrangement, because you don't have to use this as bunks. I think a lot of people look to this floor plan as much as a bunkhouse as a couple's camper with a cargo garage, because the lower bunk does fold up to reveal like a bicycle-sized cargo garage. So this can really be a multi-purpose trailer. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy the little dining arrangement right here as well. Or you could get a second table and do what I've done here. Or you could take this table outside. Now that table and this countertop, they're made out of the same material. So it's extremely lightweight. It is extremely easy to flex and move around. Now, I like the big door side windows over here. That window tilts open for jealousy fashion. This is just here for all kinds of light and viewing. More light, more sights. And speaking of light, take a look at that. Just like hard, white, light, bright, clean, and well-kept kitchen decor over here. In addition to that lighter color, making the RV look and feel brighter, you can see that you've actually got pressed membrane seamless cabinet doors. It's just kind of a neat thing that gives it a full clean look with no seams. And then just to kind of drive that fact home, we have hidden hinges. There we go. Holy cow. It's early in the morning and I couldn't remember the words. Hidden hinge cabinetry throughout. What's neat about that is hidden hinges want to kind of keep the cabinets closed. So it's a little harder for cargo to sort of bounce around in transit. Now this was made before we had the desire for 40-inch flat screens in a travel trailer. So we do have a more simple entertainment center, but that also means that it's more living space and entertainment space for your family. You know, simple little car-style stereo right there. We already talked about those seamless countertops. You can see that matching sink cover over the bigger sink basin. Now you've got a little countertop extension here. You could use this for a TV area if you are so inclined. And they've got everything you want right where you want it in this camper. We've got a couple easy roll-out drawers right here. Even the original, of course they have all the, you know, like the remote control for the thing here. Under the sink, they've got plenty of good counter space. Now, if you really wanted to, you could probably remove, or at least a portion of that shelf right there. Although the previous owners came up with a really simple, smart solution right here. They just used a couple little clips to put a small wastebasket on that could be filled with like a little Walmart or Target bag or whatever. And that could be just a simple little kitchen trash bin. And all you do, you just flip up that top little white lever now, effectively, that they installed there to remove it, to swap your bags out. Kind of simple, kind of smart, really effective. By the way, a quick look at the living room without the table in front of the sofa. You see there's a shelf behind it with that crossbreeds window right there. That shelf is there because there's outside storage mounted on the face of the slide out we'll see out there. Now, you already saw the cross breeze window in the kitchen. We've got double, anywhere that you sit or stand in this, basically, you've got breeze windows. And then on that wall, they threw a mirror just to help open it up in here, which is cool. Now, next to your refrigerator, you've got a very generous pantry, but it's actually kind of cool what they did here. It's not just a pantry with shelving. The previous owners actually put, it's not fancy, but they put a couple little like 2x4 blocks in here because this is what I like to call a perfect pantry where the storage comes to you. But they wanted to make sure that nothing would be able to move around and be damaged in transit. So they had sized out and installed a couple of these simple little, effectively, lock bars to keep those drawers in the cabinets from bouncing around and banging around in transit. And you see that there's another one of those down there. Now, what's also kind of interesting about this floor plan is I don't know that one door or the other door is the main door. Like we kind of started by looking at the rear entrance door, but this front door goes right to the bathroom area, goes right to the bunk area, and it kind of has a feel, even though it's in the front of the camper, it sort of feels like the back room of your house where you kick off your shoes and hang up your coat. It sort of has that sort of welcome home entry feel. It's very interesting in how they did that. Now, you've got an extra stand with some storage right here. If I get up front and turn around, you also see that for your front beds, you have a second set of TV hookups, although I don't think that was ever used in that way on this trailer. Now, your overhead bunk, you have one of these cool little classic cargo pockets, and take a look at the bunks on this. They are as fresh and plush as the day this thing was built. I was not joking when I said this is in basically showroom condition. I found one little blemish on the outside we'll take a look at. No leaks. We're going to walk on the roof. The roof is in near flawless condition as well. You've got the hanging closet up front here. And look at this, all the original owner's manuals, even the original brochure when they first bought this thing. So the lower bunk here, very lightweight. It can flip up and get out of the way, and then it can lock in place. But for just quick access, you can see that it'll basically hold itself in position. So like I said, if you want to put a bike or two in here, you can. This is a big, big cargo garage. Now, next to this, or rather inside this raised panel door, we have an excellent bathroom. Very well executed bathroom with dedicated linen space and a nice square linen cabinet. A lot of trailers today, they'll give you what looks like a nice linen cabinet door, but it's on like this funky 45-degree angle. And I'm sorry, but towels are not traditionally triangle shaped. Foot flush stool below. More of that seamless molded countertop stuff. And notice right here, they used a special kind of tub that basically has a little seat area in it. So if you do need to sit to bathe, you can do that. Full shower surround paneling, skylight above. Like I said, everything in here is sharp and clean. So as I mentioned, inside, but it's really the outside where you see it, this has been stored indoors, away from the sun, the weather, heavy exposure, anytime it wasn't being used. They used it twice a year religiously, and that was about it. They're swapping it out for a brand new Cougar travel trailer here at Haylett RV, something that doesn't have the rear bed slide, with a more traditional bedroom and a bigger super slide living room. Roughly the same length total, but just a bigger living space. They were just looking for a little more push button simplicity. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. So the skin is super clean. Decals, no sign of peel, fade, anything. It looks as close to brand new as these things are ever gonna get out here. And how is this for time capsule kept, guys? This is the predecessor to the modern outdoor kitchen. You know, if you look at the RV fossil records, this is what happened before the full outside kitchens. Are you noticing that the original factory shipping foam is still on that stovetop? It's because it was never really used a great deal. Take a look at the tires down here. You can see that the tires are similarly in virtually new condition. Now, the one thing I want to mention to you real quick is, I should have mentioned this sooner. You're fine, Bill. This is Mr. Bill, who's the salesperson taking this one in on trade, guys. So if you want to know a little more about it, call in, ask for Bill. He's definitely going to be the best guy to handle. Look at him doing all the pantomiming over here. Wait, there's a difference between a ham and a cheese, you know what I mean? Anyway, camping's about having fun. So Bill's taking off the little Blue Ox brackets on the front. I'm glad he's doing that because we are actually transferring over the previous owner's weight distribution from the old camper to the new one here. So just like he's removing those there, this is what it's going to look like when you folks show up to take it home. Now, what's also kind of neat, and one of the reasons I wanted to take the classic propane shell off the front here is when this was originally built, it was only built with one propane tank. It was a single propane system. The previous owners added the propane tray, auto changeover regulator, and second 30-pound tank. So where, you know, again, this was made to be more of a lightweight, basic but clean, light bright travel trailer. They went through and they've updated a couple little things like that propane system to make it a little more, I guess, current, you could say. So here is the look at the cargo garage from the outside, and look at the skin gleam on this thing. So again, bunk mode. All it takes though, one little hand, cargo mode. That's all it takes to convert this thing around right there. Even with my computer guy chicken arms that are not jacked, you can see what I mean. Underbelly, again, enclosed, heated. So if you are going to do a little bit extended spring, late fall camping, you can do that. Here's a good look at the sidewall gleam on here. It is shiny. Here, remember that shelf that was behind the sofa? This is the little outside storage. Now, you've got a lot of outside storage here, but it's kind of inside the camper, if that makes any sense. I know that I phrased it oddly, but I think you're following me. So they added a separate pocket right here, and this is going to be very handy for some things like your electrical cables. You can have like a small tote with your water hoses, things like that, maybe your coax cable for part cable hookup. Now, quick note, this is a manual rear bed slide, because again, the idea behind this product was weight and price sensitivity with a good look. To accomplish that, they did opt for a manual rear slide back in the classic days of the Keystone Outback rear bed slide travel trailers. You know, in today's market, you see things like the J-Feather X213 or the newer Outbacks typically have a power rear slide. It's not heavy. You see that it's on these roller glides right here. You know, you're gonna have to, you just kind of lean against it and jerk a couple times, and there you go, it's gonna be popped right open. Now, what's kind of cool about that though is you see how deep that slide is. It allows for a very large extension off the back of the RV, and this is, again, this is why I call this thing a hard side hybrid, because it really has a lot of the benefits of a hybrid camper without all the goofy glitchiness that goes along with kind of merging soft side hybrid bed ends onto a fully enclosed travel trailer. And guys, at the ground level at least, I think we got her. I'm just doing one last pass through to make sure I'm not missing nothing, and I think we're good. Let's hop upstairs. And just like the rest of the camper, it is clean up here. It looks as close to new as something like an 08 can possibly look. You can see the top of the awning here is nice and white. Like, this was kept washed, clean, conditioned with very excellent regularity. You can see that all these seals are fantastic looking. You can see that there's no minimal, even like weathering of anything up here. This is, yeah, when something's been stored inside the way that this has been, guys, it just makes all difference in the world. If you can't store it inside like the owner did here, at least do something like, you know, try to put a cover on it, because it is worth so much more money and you endure so much less hassle during your period of ownership. It's not even funny. So there's your word from the nerd for the day. So whether it's hitching pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between, we do it all at Haylett RV, so take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.